Good morning. We're here at Walnut Ridge looking at a passport by Keystone. This one has the second entry door. Makes it really nice for people using bathroom in and out. They're not walking through your coach. Something to think of if you're going to be letting people use your bathroom. Um, Back here we got the tri-fold steps. They just slide in and out. Real simple. And then no latch or anything. Slide in and stay. We'll go over your other steps when we get up there. You always want your door to have that nice smooth shut so rodents and stuff don't get in there. So always check your door. This one has a spray port. It's just cold water, but if you're at the beach or if you're at some creek, pond, whatever the case might be, you want to rinse your feet off, rinse your whole body off, you can spray yourself down here before you go in the coach. Outside stove, pretty nice to have. The griddle part of it, you want to season it first. There's several different ways. People have their preference. You can do it however you want. Each time you use it, it comes out, slide it out, and it's locked. Then you take this gas hose, you take it down. It's got a little quick connect on it where it plugs in at. And that is underneath the coach. It's up underneath here. It's kind of hard to see, but it plugs in just like an air hose. It clips in, and then there's a gas valve on the side. You turn towards it, then your gas you can turn on and go. Make sure it does cool off before you put it back in. You got your 110 microwave. Only works when you're plugged into 110. Higher the number, colder it is. Off. If you're not using it. It's got a little strap if you want to strap it in. Outside of your furnace and your water heater, I recommend mud dauber screens. They get up in there and make their nest. They run the exhaust fan. They run the gas on your LP water heater. So whatever the cost is, they're worth it, so you don't have to replace them. Out here on this one, you got cable and antenna. So Campground offers cable or antenna. You can plug into the coach, and then you can plug the TV out here on a table, or you can mount it, whichever one you want. Your 110, if it's not working for some reason, it runs off a GFI inside. So usually it's by your kitchen sink or your bathroom sink. You go in there and reset it if it trips. These are the solid steps. These are really nice. The one thing you do want to watch out on these, though, is when you're adjusting them, after you've leveled the whole camper, you got everything level. When you're adjusting them, you pull out to put them in. There's a little clip on the bottom, push in. But when you do adjust them, when they sit down, if that's got a gap there at all, either side, if that's a big gap, when you go to shut this door, you don't get that smooth flush close. And then eventually it's going to bow out, and up here you're going to have airflow flowing through and rodents getting in. So make sure you adjust that to where it sits on that threshold. And then anytime you're putting them up, it's been raining, you're getting out of the campsite, throw a towel down there just so your linen wood underneath it don't get wet, and then try to dry it up. Water's your enemy in a camper. Always check your seals and all that stuff. On the awning, this has the Solera, so when it's fully extended, you can pull down on this side or pull down on that side, get more of a slant for the water to go either way. Pull down on both, and you get more shade area here. If you do put them up wet, because obviously if you're done, you're ready to go, you're not going to stay around wait for it to dry. Within a month or so, try to get it put back out, let the air get on it, let it dry. Heavy winds, heavy rains, going to bed at night, leaving for the day, whatever the case might be, it's push button, go ahead and bring it in. Do watch when you're bringing it in. This door will get caught in it, so make sure you hold this door. Get in the habit of kind of just pulling the door halfway when you're going to bring the awning in, so nothing gets caught and broke. Pass-through storage, nice big opening on this side. Tire link pre-prep, so if you want to put the TPS, which is tire pressure sensors, which is really nice to have, this is already pre-wired. It's kind of a booster deal. You just buy it. This one has dual lithium batteries, so basically in the winter they're maintenance free. If you are using it and it's cold out, there's a heat button inside. I say anytime it gets around 40 degrees or below, go ahead and turn that heat on. Lithium likes heat, it won't hurt them. But when you're storing them, you don't turn that heat on, just leave them as they are. You can disconnect the coach if you want. It's up to you. But yeah, lithium batteries, they kind of go to sleep in the wintertime when it gets cold. Unless you're using them, turn the heat on. Right here at the entry, we've got our gauges. It tells us like our battery. So 1/3, 2/3 full. Fresh tank, so if you fill fresh water to take with you, and you turn the pump on, and then when you go to the spigot, turn it on, kicks water through. That's where you fill your fresh tank. Black tank is just your toilet, which is in the back. Black 2 is optional. This one doesn't have 2 black tanks. It does have gray 1 and gray 2. One's going to be your bathroom sink and shower, and one's going to be your kitchen sink. You just got to figure out which one's which. And like I said, water pump. Porch is your LED light across the awning, ceiling lights, and then the rest of them are either on push button or will be switch for them. And then your room in and out. Anytime you run the room in or out, you always want to make sure nothing's on top. Crack the door open or open a window because you're bringing this big slide in. Any slide, it doesn't matter. You're bringing that in and you're creating airflow, and it's got to go somewhere. So open the door, crack the window, something just to give somewhere for the air to go so you don't cause a leak. Awning, stand retract, battery heat. That's what I was saying. On those lithium batteries, they like heat. So in the winter, whenever it's around 40 degrees, kick it on. It's not hurting nothing. But when you're storing it, you can just leave it like that. Water heater. So this is an on-demand water heater. So basically, you would turn the power on to it, set your temperature, whatever you want, go to hot. And as soon as you kick hot on, takes a couple seconds, it's going to get to whatever temperature you set it at. If you try to fight hot and cold, you're not going to be happy. So find the temperature you like and just use hot. That way you're not trying to mix it. And it goes from 100 to 124 or something like that. So you get a temperature in there you like. A little night light around the floors. Fire extinguisher, always check your fire extinguisher, make sure those are good. On this side, we got the thermostat. So basically like your home thermostat digital. The only thing I will say is on AC, do auto fan. That way, when it reaches that temperature, the fan shuts off. If you keep the fan on all the time, it'll never shut off. So, this regular microwave, Furrion microwave, does have the glass tray, but this has the lock, so it'll keep it in there. It won't come out. Some that have just the handle, you kind of want to store your glass tray somewhere so it doesn't fall out, break this or break something. The stove and oven, basically always clockwise with the igniter. Turn it on over the flame, and then click, click, click till it ignites. On the oven, open up the oven and there's a thermocouple back there that has a little light on it, and you'll see the spark. Push in on the off, turn it over to where the red flame is, and then start lighting it until it ignites. And then when you can let go of that and that pilot light stays on, then you can set your temperature. First time you use it, turn your fan on, open the windows, burn all that acrylic off. It's not good to cook until you burn all that off. Then always make sure your top's cooled off. Put your glass down. 12-volt refrigerator. So this one will, with the dual lithium batteries, if you're going on a long trip and not wanting to go in the grocery store, not wanting to go into a restaurant, you can fill this thing full. Those lithium batteries, when you're traveling down the road, solar panels going to be charging the batteries. Your truck's going to be charging the batteries. Well, solar panels if it's sunny. And that's going to keep your fridge on. The more to the right you turn it, the colder it is. Always start in the middle. And if you're getting in and out of it, you may want to go higher, but middle's pretty good. But it's nice to be able to stop, take a break in here instead of going into a restaurant and spending a lot of money. Little night light in here, drain off that in there. Here's your GFI. So if outside that plug-in's not working, you can go to that GFI and it'll reset it. On the toilet, so basically you want some kind of water to stay above that, because if not, you're going to have the odors from your sewer. If it stops happening, turn your water off, take your glove and some Vaseline or some kind of rubber seal and run in and out. If that doesn't help, you can pop this, you can take a heat gun and try to make it work right. If that doesn't help, take your glove and pop this ring out and just replace the ring. But that way, because you want water to stay above it. To treat your tank, Commando, any kind of chemicals, if you use the pods, cut the pods, dump them in, throw the baggie away. They won't dissolve in your tank. They'll stick to your probes. Your readings will start saying full. When it's empty, you'll have misreadings. So dump them. They're good to use, but dump them and throw the package away. If you're wanting to knock off all the stuff on the walls, when you're done camping, if you got a bag of ice left or something, you're getting ready to leave, dump it down the toilet. As you're driving home, it's going to knock everything off the walls, kind of clean your tank up a little bit. And on this model, it's got LP and carbon monoxide, which every model should. Little LP and carbon monoxide detector. So if you start to hear a beeping going off every 1 to 3 seconds, it's went bad. Time to replace it. On these blinds, got a few of them. These, if they go to push them up and they fall right back down, these little strings are loose at that time. You can take them and wrap them around. If the screw is loose, you may have to get a number 2 square head and tighten it up. On your AC, always make sure you clean these vents. Restriction on your AC is horrible. These takes a second to clean this off. If it's a nice sunny day, throw it underwater, clean it off, throw it out in the sun, let it dry, put it back in, blow it off if you got air with you. Just keep them clean. That way your restriction on your AC is not, you're not fighting it. It's horrible for an AC to be restricted. Your furnace doesn't have a filter, so just, you're fine there. I think that's it.